Hi, everybody, and welcome to Signature West Podcast. I'm your host, Sam West from Palm Springs, California. As you know, I'm a seasoned real estate agent since 1991, and I bring you the podcast to bring you inspiring stories. Today's no exception. My guest today is Sean Smith, and he is the Director of Economic Development for Greater Palm Springs. It's a big title. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Friday.
Great. To you as well.
So, my first question to you is, you moved here in 2003. Where did you move from and why?
My wife and I moved here in 2003 for a job opportunity. At that time, we thought we'd probably be out in the valley that we didn't know much about for 5 years or so, maybe move back to Orange County, where we came from. We originally grew up in San Clemente, Dana Point area of Orange County, and ended up just really enjoying where we were, put our roots down, and started to call this home and fell in love with the area. Really enjoyed being residents here and became ambassadors for this wonderful place that we call Greater Palm Springs, the Coachella Valley. And 23 years went by much faster than I thought it would. And here we are saying it. It even sounds weird, but we've seen so much growth and so many positive things moving in a good direction in the valley. I'm excited to be part of that, and we really enjoy being residents here.
And how did you became the Director of Economic Development for Greater Palm Springs in 2024.
Yes.
How did that land?
So it's a new initiative for Visit Greater Palm Springs. The primary goal for Visit Greater Palm Springs is growing tourism. That's the main reason for the existence of our organization. But we have a joint powers authority agreement with the 9 cities. We're technically a joint powers authority. So we're a government entity. Each of the 9 cities has an elected official, a council member on our board. We have county representation as well. And they started having these discussions about our economy and how all of our eggs, if you will, are really in one basket of tourism. And it's great because it's a really wonderful economic driver for our valley. The impact is incredible and it's only growing. But they saw a need and an opportunity to diversify our economic base by focusing on attracting industry outside of tourism and growing some of the other spaces that we have some foundation for now, but we're growing much more now than we were ever before because we're now focused on it. So we're proactively now engaged in connecting with and attracting and growing businesses that are not necessarily related to tourism.
So two questions. When you say, for the ones that are listening, when you say 9 cities, what are you referring to?
Sure. So we'll just go west to east. So Desert Hot Springs, Palm Springs, Cathedral City, Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, La Quinta, Indian Wells, Indio, and Coachella. And then Riverside County has quite a bit of unincorporated territory in our valley as well. And they have staff located here from their economic development team, which is primarily based out of Riverside proper.
So you're not really Palm Springs exclusive.
No, not at all. This is a regional organization. We represent the entire valley, and we do that both from a tourism perspective and from an economic development perspective.
Because people always, when you say Greater Palm Springs, if you don't live here, you think of this little bubble versus,
Right.
The entire Coachella Valley. And I think
Right.
unless you
Right.
live here, you don't know that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we find that most people that live here refer to it as the Coachella Valley or the valley.
Right.
But for us, due to the name recognition that it carries with it, when we're out promoting the area, Greater Palm Springs makes more sense.
Right. So I hope I'm saying this right, because I read it and I still had I had an issue saying it. The street lights, which they're called the base stud IO.io.
Yeah, so it's just Base Studio. They had kind of a marketing angle to how they logo their word, but it's Base Studio.
Oh, but it's base stud. Oh, studio.
The .io lends itself to being a website. So that would be a link when you type it, but the company is actually Base Studio.
Studio. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So take it away. What is that all about?
So we were connected with this very innovative individual with a very innovative company a few months ago, and what we found was that she was manufacturing and working towards a product right here in Palm Springs. And it's a street light, but that really kind of doesn't do it justice. It's really not just a street light. It's a very forward-thinking approach to providing light in public spaces or private as well. It's a really, I think, futuristic design for a street light. It takes away the traditional kind of boring, if you will, look to street lights and gives it a really nice aesthetic. But the great part about it, in addition to the way it looks, is that it's made from a composite material that's stronger but weighs less than steel. They don't need to import it or get material like steel to build these. They already have the composite material and they form the base for the street light. But it has solar panels, so it can be charged by solar. It can run with a power outage for up to 48 hours, providing light. If it's connected to the grid, it can provide a Wi-Fi network when it's placed in close proximity to other of the same street lights, and it can charge EVs. And so what that does is provides a lot of potential public benefits that you wouldn't traditionally get from just your normal street lights, in ways where the owner can even make revenue if they're charging for the EV charging, for instance, or for the Wi-Fi. There are ways that public entities and private, so the applicability wouldn't just be streetlights. We could see this going into public parks, hospital campuses, universities, commercial developments, residential developments. There's really a whole host of opportunities for implementing this new streetlights. And in our mind, it's kind of a game changer. Her name is Heidi Adams. That's the CEO of the company. She pitched this during the Riverside County Innovation Month, which was last month. Took it to the regional version that we had here for the fast pitch, and she tied with another very innovative company that's working out here. They went to the super regionals in Riverside, and she got second place there. So through that, she got some really good recognition and exposure. We're helping to kind of get her name out there and her product out there because it's in alignment with the things that we're focused on: sustainability, innovation, and it comes from right here. It's being manufactured in Palm Springs, so it's a great product that we can showcase.
So what's her story? Where did she come from? So I wish I would have had her here, maybe. So what's her story and her background?
Yeah, actually, there are a few of these companies out here that might make for a really good conversation with you at some point to talk to them. But in any case, she's got an engineering and design background. So
Uh,
um, she brought on a team of people that have been working in a variety of areas, kind of in that space of design, but engineering, innovation to create this. And that team is now moving forward with it.
And what stage is it at right now? Is it like waiting for city approval? Is it in the
No,
it's a pre-pre?
she's looking to launch the product now. So she's gotten quite a bit of interest from a number of different entities. She is going, if she hasn't already, to pitch the product in front of city councils. She was
Right.
invited to do so in Indio. One of the council members was here, and he liked it so much he started just calling around and saying, "Hey, you people need to start paying attention to this, and we need to bring her to the city and have her pitch this and showcase how great this product is that she's making." So right now, she's really just trying to get exposure and recognition of the product and interest in moving forward with manufacturing. And she's ready to go. She's already got all of the things that she needs to move forward, and she can scale right here in Palm Springs and from her small team to a very large team, depending on demand.
And this is going to be funded by
Well, it's whoever the customers are. So if let's say
Palm Springs. Let's
there's
just
a
say Palm Springs.
hospital that says, "Hey, we want to put these across our campus," the hospital would buy them. They would buy the lights. If it's a city, the city would purchase the lights as well.
So it's micro by micro by micro.
It's just it's a private enterprise
Private enterprise.
product. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we just feel is very much in alignment with the things that we're focused on and showcases a really innovative approach to something that hasn't really been thought of before, coming right here from our valley. So it kind of shines a light on us a little bit too by supporting her.
Would it be like the first of its kind that's born here, raised here, manufactured here?
Yes,
Really?
absolutely. There are other solar powered streetlights from what I understand, but none with the capabilities that I described that she has with hers.
Interesting. So if it takes off, we'll be like the pioneer of the product, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. And we showcased her prototype in our parking lot for about a month where people could come by and learn about it, scan a QR code. We did a little media launch event where we did a little Q&A and we had a number of people come and hear from Heidi herself about the product and where she was taking it. So it's really neat to have something like this where people traditionally don't think of us as a destination where these type of things are born and developed, but we are. And as I mentioned, there are some other products coming out of here in line with those that I think are going to put us in a nice little spotlight in terms of a place where people might consider us for locating their manufacturing or innovative company.
Can you give us a peek? Can you mention any?
Yeah, so another one, the gentleman who moved on with Heidi to the Riverside version of the Fast Pitch Innovation Month event, he has a company called iGuardian, EYE Guardian. And so what they're doing is building eyeglasses that have a technology that can detect glaucoma faster than any other method available now. And glaucoma is one of the leading causes for blindness across the world. This is a product that can catch it so early that it will save people from going blind eventually. And this is a technology that was created here. There's another company called Next Machina, Machina, that's manufacturing EV and pedal-powered last mile vehicles using that same composite material, by the way, that the streetlights are designed from to build these vehicles. And um, they're probably going to be used more in urban environments, so getting easily from point A to point B in a very dense environment. But the same applicability for this product is here too, as it was with the streetlight. So I could see these being used the same way: street or campuses, parks, universities, healthcare areas, development, and they can carry product around which is pedal powered, but also EV powered. He's got an individually created one as well. So if you're interested in just having one as an individual, he's building those too. And he's using that same composite material to start manufacturing homes. It's a very fire resistant material and it can be built at a much lower price point than traditional build. So this might be a really great way for people to get into a home at a much more affordable price point that provides also some security from a fire resistant standpoint. You're seeing people across California not being able to insure their homes anymore, primarily due to fires. So this could be a really good solution for that. So those are three companies that we have here that we've already been working with and helping to support.
I can't help it but ask, when did Palm Springs become ground zero for technology?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I think though that given given the identity of our destination, it's not that surprising. We have some very innovative and intellectually forward-thinking people here in our valley, and you can get into this market at a lower price point than you can almost anywhere else in Southern California. And you've got the support from the infrastructure from the area. So getting materials here is not hard to do. Getting labor is not hard. We need more diversification in terms of our job opportunities for people. This offers that. That gentleman with Next Machina is looking to scale to probably 200 employees from his current 20, moving into larger scale production of both the homes and the vehicles that I mentioned. And I think leadership started looking at our destination and saying, hey, there's another layer to this too. We have a lot of people that have deep experience in the tech world, from Google, Microsoft, other companies that have decided that they would like to live here for a couple of reasons: the exceptional quality of life and the lower cost of living compared to the Bay Area and Seattle. But they're bringing with them some really great experience, and they want to do things. They don't want to just sit and golf and play pickleball, right? They want to actually start creating industry, and they've been talking with each other. So last year was the first year of an event at the convention center in Palm Springs. It was the AI Tech Expo. I don't believe that was the actual name, but that's what it was. And it was on a Monday in June. They capped the ticket sales at 500, and they sold out. So clearly showing interest from our Valley residents that in this
It was
innovative
sold out.
it was sold out. So they're doing a second version of that called PS Next on June 22nd and 23rd at the convention center. And the entire focus is on technology, innovation, AI. They're bringing in some really great speakers and people that are leaders in that space to talk. There's some interactive opportunities there. So to answer your question, I don't know how or when, but it's certainly here and it's moving forward and growing.
Well, you kind of took me to my last question, but I'll do it now and then I'll back up. So now that you mentioned this type of scale for technology and AI, what is your personal feel on the proposed data center in Coachella City?
I don't have a personal opinion on the data center. I think what's happening is there's obviously a demand for data centers, for the development of data centers, because we're seeing it across the country where people are either considering them or developing them now. I think part of the challenge is that, well, at least I haven't seen a real summary explaining the good, the bad, the ugly of data centers, including the return on investment as it relates to data centers. I think that needs to happen for that industry to really help people understand what it is that they're approving and what the data center brings, in terms of benefit. I can't define what that is because I still haven't heard or read anything that helps me really better understand them. And the other
Well,
question is, do we need to be in close proximity to a data center in order to have a robust industry of innovation? And I don't know the answer to that either. So, this seems to be coming very fast. And but I think what you're seeing now is people that are interested in it, but are saying, well, I think we just need to better understand what we're considering here.
right, because in other places they already got approved without having to say so of the people, and there's all that now commotion going on, and obviously it's a much bigger scale than Coachella City, but nonetheless, there's always going to be pros and cons. It's always going to be unhappy versus happy,
Right,
especially when you're dealing with chemicals and such
right.
and that
Water
kind of
use,
volume.
environmental concerns. I think it's one of those things like with any development that people just really need to have a good understanding of what
Right,
it's bringing to the table.
right.
Mhm.
Um, to my previous question, you mentioned since you've been here from 2003 to 2024, which obviously led to so much, and you saw so much change, which obviously the city is growing, like every city is growing, but the charm still stands. My question, which anybody would ask, with all this coming things, you know, the lights um, and the convention center for doing this and doing that, do you see that taken away from the core elements of the valley, which is, golfing, pickleball, tennis, relaxing, not a hustle and bustle, not Silicon Valley. It's not we don't come here to grind. Do you see that as a going that direction? Obviously, not right
No, I
away.
don't. I don't see the growth that we've had being a detriment to our brand identity. We're still very well known for those things. Again, hospitality tourism is our number one industry. I don't think that that's going to change anytime soon. We've got 14.5 million visitors that come here. We're growing from a residential standpoint too, and I think that that speaks to that exceptional quality of life, and that's still intact. With the growth, I'll tell you what I've seen and I really appreciate is 20 years ago, when we talked about economic development and growth, it was really focused on support for the tourism industry. So
Right,
for hotels and retail, food and beverage, the cities were very much focused on that type of commercial development because that was all we really knew. And that's kind of what we thought our core was. Big box retail. Well, that whole industry has shifted. The big box retail is not producing stores like they
correct.
were before. So what I've seen as a result of that is something that I think is really exceptional for our valley. It's an identity of each of the cities being embraced and built upon. So I think now, almost more than any other time, you can go to 9 different cities all within our valley and have a completely different experience in terms of the culture and the amenities, the food and beverage, the experiences overall. And you don't have to look much further than what they're doing in downtown Indio. I think that's a really great example of that. This concept of placemaking and introducing things that increase that quality of life for residents, but also for visitors is something that each of the cities are doing. So when we talk about growth and it's happening in that regard, I think that only strengthens our brand.
So when you're attached to Palm Springs, Greater Palm Springs, you're not just attached to Palm Springs, you're throughout.
No, no, we have all nine cities are
Unless
our
it's under,
partners.
okay,
Mhm.
okay, just to make that
Yeah,
clear.
yeah. So I work very closely with the economic development teams for each of the nine cities, as well as the
Right,
county.
right.
Connect with the tribes as well. They're doing some things that are pretty noticeable and significant too. But really, sort of in this funnel, I guess, if you were to look at it in this way, of getting out there for me. I go to trade shows, conferences. We have a media marketing plan that we've implemented for the entire valley. And when we go and we talk to different industry clusters, for instance, if we go to an advanced manufacturer, and I've got a biotech conference coming up, we talk about
Here,
opportunities throughout the entire, it's in San Diego,
I think, okay,
actually. And so at these trade shows, we're meeting with site selectors and developers and company representatives trying to pitch the valley as an opportunity for them to invest and grow their business. And when they show interest, what we'll do is say, okay, in this certain lane, let's say it's advanced manufacturing, we have opportunities in four of the cities because they have land use zoning and development that is conducive for advanced manufacturing. So then I'll connect with the teams at
right.
each of those cities, talk about what that lead looks like, and then take it from there and in terms of moving forward with it. So we work very closely with all nine cities in the county.
But it's very common, especially a city like Coachella Valley, which people are accustomed to certain things, status quo, and anything that disrupt the status quo is usually not received very well. It's just that's kind of like, the theme of the land.
I think
Uh,
that's people's nature, right?
right, right, right. So to sell that ticket is gonna have to be a very, I would say slow process,
Well,
maybe.
economic development is slow,
Yeah,
compared to many other things. I mean, when they equate it to gardening. So you're planting seeds, you're watering, you're growing the plants. The fruit doesn't come until years down the road.
right.
People don't make decisions overnight to invest, $50 million into a destination. It takes time and connections and relationships. Part of what I would say to answer that though is for the entire time I've been here, we've had a need to provide many of our own community members with career opportunities
True,
outside of just hospitality. Now, there are
true,
some career pathways even within hospitality that are great that a lot of people don't talk about, from
right.
marketing, finance directors, managers, chefs. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity there. But to give our community members, and if you talk to our youth and you ask them about job creation, I don't think a lot of them see opportunity here. That's why you've seen so many people leave the valley to
Correct,
go pursue their careers.
correct.
What we want to do is invest in the community, get higher paying career opportunities and pathways here. All of the higher education institutes are on board with this. They really want to be in line with what the industry is demanding too, and create those opportunities for people to be here. And so it's really an investment in our own community. Yeah, we're growing, but we're also providing benefit and new opportunity to people that are here and trying to keep them here.
So back to the AI question and all that data center. I know you don't have an opinion on it, but does that take away the prediction of taking away jobs for the people that fill that role? Would that be a competition for what you're trying to achieve?
In terms of approving a data center,
No, yeah, and bringing jobs to the valley and helping people, not leave and stay here and have this great
right?
opportunities.
Yeah, well, I don't think necessarily that is going to be something that really gets us off track in terms of job opportunity. The job opportunities that are attributed to data centers is fairly minimal from what I understand. So
Right.
you could have a 1 million square foot data center and only 20 employees. Well, you could have a manufacturing plant at a fraction of that size with 200 employees
Right.
with some really high paying jobs. I mean,
Right.
that Next Machina company that I mentioned earlier, they're looking to hire engineers, fabricators, designers, electricians. These are pathways that pay some pretty good wages for people. And if we're able to create more of those, which there is demand for, then that right there is speaking to
Yeah.
the job creation question.
Yeah. You have an event coming up.
So the PS Next
Yes.
that we talked
You,
about.
you want to talk about that? I'm bringing
Yeah, do you
some.
want me to talk about that now?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So PS Next is going to be on June 22nd and June 23rd at the Convention Center in Palm Springs. And it's not our event, but we are sponsoring it because we're very supportive of this. The focus of the event is on innovation, technology, AI. We are bringing in they are bringing in some individuals that I mentioned earlier. I alluded to some of those people that have moved here with deep experience in the tech industry. They will be here. Some of our very own residents that come from that background. They're going to have speakers from the tech industry world, as well as entertainment, a wide breadth of speakers and opportunities to see some of the products. Heidi will be there showcasing her base studio product, the Street Light. So that's one example of what you might expect by going there. But it'll be a fantastic event. Again, it was sold out last year at 500 on a Monday in June. That's not the norm here.
Same price point?
No, it's not. And I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I don't know
That's okay.
exactly what the ticket prices are. But I will say, I'm glad you brought that up. It's free to any student in the Valley. If you're a student in the Valley, you get free admission to this event. They want the children to come and be exposed to this opportunity to learn about some of these really neat things that are happening here.
I'm a student of life. Does that matter?
You'll have to probably talk to the people at registration. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
We're all students to some degree, right?
Right. Okay, so and to get tickets to go where? How to find? Just to go to the.
So if you go to PS Next, out.
I'm writing as we speak.
Yeah, if you go to PS Next and Google it, you should be able to come up with it pretty quickly. Yeah, unfortunately, again, it's not our event. We're just sponsoring it, but it's should be able to find it pretty easily, along with an agenda and the speakers.
Okay. Sean, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate
thank
your
you.
time. Yeah, and I think it was very informative.
Good.
I'm sure there's more going to come as you guys progress, and maybe we can bring Heidi back and get to know more.
I'd be happy to.
Because I think you're just touching on the tip of it.
Right.
I guess one last question. When is the lighting? Do you see it like completed for purchasing? People can actually go and purchase.
I'm now.
Now. Okay.
If somebody's interested, they can connect with Heidi and her team and get moving on manufacturing these. So she's ready to build now.
And how long does it take to manufacture? I guess depending on the size.
That's a really good question. I think it probably depends on the order.
On the order, right?
Yeah, I would think so. You know, she's at a place now where she is launching this, so I'm not sure what the restrictions are in terms of how quickly she could fill those orders.
I would love to have her. Yeah.
I think her and the gentleman from Next Machina would be really good people for you to speak with. They can bring a lot of really.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Yeah.
I'll connect you.
Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you, Sean. And if you enjoyed this episode and want to learn more, please subscribe. It helps me bring people like Sean here every other week. And again, I appreciate your time. And I'm sure we're going to talk to you again. I have no doubt.
I hope so. Yeah. There's more to talk about. There's a lot more to talk about.
Right. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Sam.
I'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody.